Okay, so where did we stop last time? Do you remember?
We went into mostly list kind of a things.
List, right? And I asked you to write a program to create a list of marks, right? Calculate sum and average, right? Yes, that was the last thing, right? So we discussed about creating a list, adding members, deleting. Okay, so we discussed about append and insert. What is the difference between append and insert? At the last, yes. Position. Okay, great. Okay, so we'll talk about two concepts here for now. Okay, and this is assignment. Okay, so try this as assignment for this week. Implement stack and queues operations using list. Okay, so what is stack and queue? I told you yesterday, right? You know, we use data structure for real-time environment, real-time work. Okay, so your list and whatever we'll discuss, these are basic ways of handling data. But so this is handling data, and then you have implementation. Okay, stack implementation, queues implementation. So the concept of stack is that whatever comes last will be the first one to go out. Means, let's say, see, when you put a books as a stack, what do? You put first book on the table. On top of that, you put second book. On top of that, you put third book, so on. So at the end, you put last book on the topmost position, right? Now, if you have to take a book, you can't take from bottom, right? You have to take first book out first. Okay, so your stack is called as last in first out structure. Okay, so if I give you value 5, okay, if I give you value 5, so value 5 will be here. So here you know so always the values will get added at the end. Okay, so there is no concept of adding at the first or given position. Values will always be added at the end. So when you go for a buffet, you have stack of plate. There's, let's say, there's particular plate on the top, but suddenly this guy comes and put more plates on top. Then what happens? The last plate that came in will be the first one to be available, right? So we add values at the end, but when we take out from the end only. See, we add values at the end: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Now if I have to take out, which one I will take out? At the end only. 30 will be first one to be deleted, then 25, then 20, then 15, then 10. Last 5. The first element that was added will be the last one to go out. So that's what we say, last in, first out, LIFO. Okay. So now implement a stack, okay, concept where you will say you'll have 3 options. Okay. Or you'll have only 2 options, in fact. Okay. One will be add members to stack. Second will be remove members from stack. Add members to stack. Second, remove members from the stack. And then you can have stop or display. So every time you add, okay, you will add to this variable, and then you will show them that values are added at the end. And when they say remove the value, you will not ask which value to remove or which position to remove. You will automatically remove from the last. That is called stack implementation. Then you have queue implementation. Queue. Queue is when you stand in a queue, right? You're going to get your movie ticket, right? So you stand in a queue. Now, when you stand in a queue, what happens? The first one that comes in is the first one that will go out of the queue, right? So here we call it as first in, first out. Before first in, first out. The element that came in first will be the element that will go out first. So if I ask you to add an element, you will add 5, 10, 15, 20. Now I'll tell you delete. So you will delete 5. Next you will delete 10. Then if I have to add again, you will add 25, 30. If I ask to delete again, you will delete 15. You will delete 20. Again, if you have to add, you will add 35. Now this is how you will keep on adding and deleting. This is called queue implementation. Okay, first in, first out. Last in, first out is stack implementation. Okay, so try to. Yes, element will be added at the last. The difference between this one stack and queue is that you remove. Okay, adding is always at the end, but the way you remove is different. In stack, it is removed differently. In queues, it is removed differently. Yes. Okay. So try this. Now, let's continue with the class now. So let's say again, I have a list here. List equal to 2, 4, 8, 14, 16. Okay. Now L1 dot. Append we have discussed, append, pop, clear. Okay. Count. Count will tell you how many values are there. Very exactly like string. Okay. Count and it takes value. Okay. Insert we have some index will tell you. This is again very much like string. In string also we had index. It will tell you the position of the element, right? So see here, count has value and index has value start and stop. Okay. So let's do index. Now I'll give index of say 14. Index of 14. Okay. So I'll say print. Just to point it to different file here. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Index is 3, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. Now if I give index of 140, 140 is not there. Then what do you get? You get error. Okay, value error. So it is always good practice to check if the value is there or not. Right? If L1 dot index, okay, not index, sorry, L1 dot count, okay, of 14, okay, is greater than 0. Okay, count is greater than 0, only then it's going to be, this is going to work. Else you say, okay, print 14 is not in the list, right? So now you see, L1 dot, one, this is 140, right? So now when you run it, you see index is 3 because count became 1. Now if I do it 140, now I'm equal to 140, right? I'll replace this with num here. Okay, so you see 140 not in the list because count will be 0. So count will be 0, okay, and the value is not there. When if you try to find index of value which is not there in the list, you will get error. Okay, so that's why it is always good practice to check the value and only then you work with the values or numbers here. Okay, again here index you will have beginning and the end. Okay, you can say now 14 here. Okay, print L1 dot index. Okay, I say 14 comma. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, right? I'll say 4 comma 6 maybe. And again, you get error. 14 not in the list. 14 is not after 4 and before 6. If I make it 2, then you will get it. Position 3. So this is yesterday also same thing we did with string also. This is the starting value and this is the ending value. So you're looking for this number within these two values. You're looking for 14 after 2, position 2, and before 6. Between 2 and 6 only you're looking for 14. So if 14 is before 2, not after 2, index 3 hai na? So that's why it gave you value. Okay. But if I had given, let's say if I had given 3 also here. Okay. Then you will get it. But the moment I give 4, you will not get it. Because it is a third position, I'm looking from 4th index. Right? So you will not get this one. All right? This count number, okay. Greater than 0. Count kab hua? How many elements are there? How many num is there here? You tell me. Num is 140. How many it is 140 is there? No. Then what will this value be? Count of num will be what?
0.
5 क्यों होगा यार? L1 dot count of num. So I'm checking how many num is there in this L1. How many num is there in L1?
0.
कहाँ से होगा? Num is 140. How many 140 is there here in L1? How many? I'm not asking true or false. True or false is yes, no. I'm asking how many? How many में क्या हुआ? When I say how many, what does that mean? Many मतलब क्या होता है? हाँ. How? I'm asking you to tell me. How many times it is there? Question है आपका fill in the blanks. One word आप लिख रहे हो पूरा paragraph. I'm asking how many 140 is there here? How many 140 is there in this list? मैं एक वर्ड आंसर पूछ रहा हूँ पैराग्राफ बोल रहे हो आप. How many मतलब क्या होता है? Many how many मतलब क्या हुआ? हाँ 0, right? 0. That's why I'm saying greater than 0, isn't it? Okay. How many means count. Count with a number होगा ना. It cannot be I'm not there, I'm sleeping, I'm going out नहीं होगा ना. It will be 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. Correct? So it is 0. Right? That's why I'm checking is it greater than 0. Equal to 0 रहा मतलब it is not there. So then you need to find it. Because index
Else condition
error.
पे आ जाएगा.
Yes, else पे आ जाएगा. Right? So this is your index. Now, if you go back to L1 dot. Okay, so count, append, pop, remove, okay, insert. Okay, let's do this copy. What is copy? So let me print this here. Print L1. Okay, I'll say here 0 dot L1 and L1 equal to L1. Okay, now I'm saying L2 equal to L1 dot copy and L3 equal to L1. Right? So I'm copying the values of L1 into L2, and here also I'm saying L1, L3 equal to L1. Now if I print this, okay, so if I print L1, L2, L3, what will be the values? 1, 1, 1, L1, L2, L3, L1, L2, L3.
तीनों
So
की same होंगी.
all three will be same. Oops, this is coming because of here. Okay. So your L1 is 2, 4, 8, 14, 16, right? Since I said L1, L2 equal to L1 dot copy. See, L2 also has same value. This is anyway L1, same. L2 also has same value and L3 also has same value. Correct? So if you want to create duplicate list, you can say L3 equal to, or you can say L3 equal to L1 dot copy. Dot copy will also create a duplicate value, and equal to will also create a duplicate value. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print this entire same stuff. Okay. But after making some changes to L1, L1 dot append, say 18. Okay, then again I say L1 dot append 20. Okay, I'm adding 18 and 20 to L1. So obviously L1, okay, will have new values 18 and 20. But what happens to L2 and L3? You see and tell me. So till here it's clear, right? Now what we did, we added 18 and 20 to L1. Okay, so we added 18 and 20 to L1. Good. Now you see what happened to L2 and L3. Can you see and tell me what do you notice here?
L3 में तो करेक्ट हुआ है क्योंकि L1 को हम लोग बोल रहे हैं L3 के इक्वल हो जाएगा। L2 में हम लोगों ने कॉपी किया है L1 और L1 की वैल्यू ऑलरेडी ऊपर स्टोर थी विदाउट 18, तो इसीलिए वो वैल्यूज नहीं आई। दैट्स माय रीजन।
Right. Okay. So what happened when you say equal to? Okay, when you say equal to, it is like giving another name to the same list. Duplicate list is not created. Duplicate list is not created. It is like giving another name. So it is same set of values, but you're giving different name. Okay. So if, let's say, if I have two names, for example, okay. So when you call me my first name also, I'll respond. If you call me my second name also, I'll respond. Yes or no? So equal to is like giving different name to the existing data. Okay. Dot copy, and this is how I remember. Dot copy is like creating a copy, photocopy. So when you go to a shop and you give original, so you take this L1 and give me a copy of it. So that very moment when you create a copy, your copy will be same. Okay. So you took original, you go and you take a photocopy. So now you have two copies, L1 and did I create L3 or L2? L2. So I have L1 and L2, and L2 is a photocopy of L1. Now you can go and I can still add something to L1, but your photocopy will be impacted? No, photocopy will not be impacted, isn't it? So this is what we are saying. The moment you take copy, it is same, but they are different. Actually, they are creating a duplicate copies. You can keep adding to original, you can keep adding to duplicate, but they will be two different copies. But when I say L3 equal to L1, okay, you are, this is called deep copy. Okay, another name for same data. This is called as shallow copy. Shallow copy means creates another copy. After creating, they are different. उसका कोई connection नहीं है दोनों में. The moment you take Xerox, they will look same. After that, they are different. So this is what happens here. अरे बिफोर में कुछ भी कर सकते हैं ना. हाँ हाँ. See, the moment you take Xerox, उसमें जब आपने original पे आपने कुछ add किया है, तो that will be in the Xerox copy, isn't it? Okay. The moment you take copy, that's what. Then what is the value here? That is what is important. Okay. So So this is the difference. Okay, equal to is like giving another name, but when you say copy, it is creating a duplicate copy. Okay. Now, what else is there? So you have something called as reverse and sort, extend. Now, extend is okay. Now, what did we say? List is mutable or immutable? Mutable. That means list can be added. Okay. So if I say L1 dot extend L3, okay, print L1, what happened? So you see 2, 4, 6, 8, 20, this is L1, and to L1 again I'm appending L3. So what happened? It got added to itself. So extend will make the changes in. See, it is like saying L1 equal to L1 plus L3. L1 equal to L1 plus. This is what extend means. You are adding to itself. It is adding L3 to L1 itself. So L1 is impacted. This cannot be there done in string because strings are immutable. You can't edit it. So this will not be there in immutable type of data types. It can only exist in mutable type of data types. Okay. जो भी आप ऐड करोगे वो आ जाएगा यहाँ पे. But this expects a list only, not individual. Individual you have append, no. Here you are expecting to add the list only. It will take iterable only list.
सर एक चीज और
Yes, approve.
ये जो L1 डॉट अपेंड हम लोगों ने ऊपर 18 20 किया था, नीचे वाला कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में आ गया. तो 18 के अलग लाइन लिखिए, 20 के अलग लाइन लिखिए. तो 18 को हम 20 करेंगे तो इट विल नॉट वर्क, राइट?
No, append will take only one value. Now, if you say 18 comma 20 like this, then it will work. Then it is one value. It is one value, right? This will work. But what do you expect? List will be added here.
Okay.
Because you're giving a list. So this is to add one member at the end. So this list will be added at the end. All right. So far. Okay. Then you have sort and reverse. So it already sorted. Let me create another L4 equal to, let's say I say 5 9 1 4 2 3 6. If I say reverse, okay, now watch this. L4 dot reverse, if I try to print, what do you expect? None. Because L4 is getting reversed by itself, but it's not showing anything. So what you need to do is you need to put it outside and print L4. L4 is updated. It's not returning any value. That's why when you try to print, it says none. But now when I print it, see, values got reversed. 6324,195. Okay. Similarly, you can say L4 dot sort. Sort will sort in the ascending order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. I can say sort, okay, it's called okay, reverse. Reverse equal to true. If I say reverse equal to true, it will sort in descending order. So you have, okay, reverse equal to true within the list. It will, okay, so if you have to do the sorting, you can better use list ka and it will do it. Okay. Okay. So these are the properties of the list. These are properties of the list. Now, shall I do a program? I want you to create a list of list. Okay, so it is a list, and the list will have 3 members, and they are also list. Okay, so I want you first create this. Let's say 4, 6, 8, then let's say 9, 5, 2, and let's say 5, 9, 1. I want you to create list of list, okay, and then find highest value at each position. Highest value at each position. So highest value at first position is what? 4959. Highest value at this position is 6599. Highest value at this position is 8218. So it should give me highest position at first position is 9, second is 9, third is 8. Understood? So yes, let's try to do this. Try and we will see. So when you talk about max, it will give you max of each element. So this is one element, this is another element, this is another element. Okay, of all the 3, okay, it compares the first value. The first value is 4, 9, and 5. So this is highest. This will be given as highest. Even if you give 0 here and 0 here, and if you run it, still you get 9 because first element is highest. Now, if I make first element all same, 5, 5, 5, then it will check for the second element. So which one will it show as highest?
9, 5, 9, 1.
591. Okay, 591. Again, if this second element is also same, then you check for third. Okay, like that. Otherwise, it'll show as always same. Okay. So okay, this is one. But what I want is I want you to use for loop, go through it and find first element first position. So 5, 5, 5 में highest कौन सा है? 6, 0, 9 में highest कौन सा है? 8, 0, 1 में highest कौन सा है? So first of all, how will you create this list? Append, yes. Have you done it? Share. We will use your code. You put it in the WhatsApp, I'll copy it. Okay, now I want you to create a element and do it. Okay, so this should go like this. for I in range, say 3, okay. For j in range 3, okay. Then you will put a data here or something, okay. Then you get this value equal to input, or will convert into integer. So int of input, okay. So this one we'll put it in a inner list, okay. I'll call it as temp, and you add this to the temp, okay. Now your end of this loop, your temp will have the inner values. Now you add to the outer dot, okay. So every time outer loop is run, temp is reset to blank list. Then the inner loop values will be added to temp. So it's like temp will have this value. Once this list is created, then you add this list to the main list, which is data, okay. And then again, second time it goes here, this becomes again blank list. Then again elements will be added, and then you add to the data. So like that, if you do, you will get the values here, right? So and if you want to print it, obviously we can print it here. So let's run it and let's give some values. So it will accept 9 values, isn't it? 5, 4, 3, 6, 7, 5, 9, 8, 7. You see, this has created this value. 5, 4, 3, 3, 6, 7. Okay. Now this is how you will create the list. Now if I run it again, it will ask me to enter the values, right? That's what I'll do. I will move to new file. Okay. I'll open a new program. Okay. So, so this is how you will create this. Okay. So now what happens? I don't want to run it again. If I run it again, it will have to enter all the 9 values again. So let's assume that you have got this. Now, how will you find the highest between these? So, to find highest between these values, you have to, again, inner loop, isn't it? Outer loop and inner loop. So I'll say for I in range 3, for j in range 3, okay? For I in range 3, j in range 3. So I will go to as 0, 1, outer loop, okay? Inner loop will. But you see, okay, now if I have to print the value, so data of, when I say I comma j, what will I get? I will be 0, 0, 1, 0, 0 first, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. So I'm iterating through this. I don't want to iterate through this. I want to iterate through, this is 0, 0, then 1, 0, then, right? So instead of I comma j, I'll say j comma I. I is slow moving. So I will be first 0. Second also is 0, 0. J will be 0, 1, 2. 0, 0, 0, 1, no, 1, 0. This is 1, 0, isn't it? This is first element. This is second element. So 1 and 1 can be 0. So j of I will take me through this one, this one, this one. So this is the element I need to check. So what I'll do, okay, I can create another list which will talk about the position, right? So I'll create, let's say, max list or something, which will be reset to blank list. Here, what I'll do, Generally, what happens in max list, okay, um, uh, uh, we need to compare the value, isn't it? So one way is, okay, you give some random, minus value, something which is very small, which definitely will be changed. Now I'm comparing here. I'm saying if max list of, so inner loop, I'm first comparing 0. So max list of I. So I'm going to compare first all zeros, right? So max list of I, if it is less than data of ji, then I have to swap it, correct? I have to replace max list of I equal to data of ji. Otherwise, do nothing. So I'm assuming that my highest numbers are minus triple nine, minus triple nine, minus triple nine. This is one way of doing it. There could be other ways of, also there are other ways of doing it. Okay. Okay. First, you assume that first element is always the highest element. Okay. Then you compare. That's another way. Here, what I've done, I have assumed that minus triple nine is the lowest. You cannot have a value lower than minus triple nine. And then I'm comparing here. So first max list of I is 0 because I've used I. So I will be 0, 0, 0 3 times, correct? So I'm saying if max list of I, or max list of 0 is less than 0, 0. 0, 0 is 5. This is less than this, yes. Minus triple nine is less than 5. So I'm swapping. I'm putting max list as j of 5. That means 5 will go here. So this will become 5. Now again you check. List of it remains 0 only, right? Because it's outer loop. So remains 0. So 5 is 5 less than j is 1 now. 1 0. 1 0 is this one. Is 5 less than 6? Yes. So now I'm replacing here 6. Then again I go here. Now 6 less than 9? Yes. So I'm replacing 9. So one iteration done. Then second iteration of I starts, where I becomes now 1. Same thing will happen. And now if you print it, print max list. Oops, it's running the last program. So I'll stop it. And you see, इसमें 9 है, second one has 8, and third one has 7. 987 is the highest element. You have to find the lowest element of all. Then I'll put a very high value here.
सर
It
इसमें
will
कुछ
anyway
गलत
change.
नहीं हुआ क्या? मतलब हम लोग को हर एक एलिमेंट से हाईएस्ट लेना था।
हाँ, तो
तो
फर्स्ट एलिमेंट हाईएस्ट कौन सा है? फर्स्ट एलिमेंट
5
ये है ना?
5 है ना, तो नीचे 5 क्यों नहीं
नहीं
print?
नहीं नहीं, फर्स्ट पोजीशन का लेना है ना। आई नीड टू टेक फर्स्ट पोजीशन. दिस इज फर्स्ट पोजीशन, फर्स्ट पोजीशन, फर्स्ट पोजीशन.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है।
Okay. Okay. And what you are saying, Purv, is easier than this. Okay. So take that as assignment.
ओके
So assignment 2 for today is, okay, find the highest element for each of the list, sublist. So 543 my highest 5, 675 highest 7, 987 highest 9. So it should give you 5, 7, and 9. 5, 7, 9. Okay. Now this here is that first position. This is the first position. So first, for each position, highest values at each position. Isn't it? I'm trying to find the highest values at each position. Yes. अपन क्या करना है? You copy this paste here, no? Copy and paste here. See, I'm using data, right? I'm using data. Data is created here. You put it here, हो गया ना? क्या from stand? Last, see, this is the code to create the data, and this is to work the data. हो गया ना? See, this one I'm doing manually, right? So don't use this. Just don't put that. Just use data directly. Now it will work.
पहले एक तरह से आपने इनपुट लिया यूजर से कि कौन सा डेटा चाहिए,
हाँ,
और सेकंड अप्रोच ये हो सकता है कि डेटा ऑलरेडी है, उसके बेसिस पे हम लोग करते हैं।
right. So it's a continuation only, right?
फिर से चीज पूछने का मन कर रहा है सर,
क्या क्या क्या?
ये जो आपने डेटा स्क्वायर,
Okay, so we're talking about tuple. What did we say? Okay, the tuple is similar to list. In what ways? So list, we said list is linear, mutable, ordered collection. This is what we said about list, isn't it? Tuple only difference is this is immutable. Immutable version of list is tuple. Okay, since it is immutable, we cannot use any method. We cannot edit it, right? We can't do extend. You can't do sort. You can't do reverse. Okay, so not much things to. We can finish off in next 10 minutes itself. There are not much things to talk about tuple, but it is important in a way that once you like, if you want things to move faster, it's like this. Okay, when you have a road, when you know that no vehicle will come front of you, okay, one way hai, so your speed in one ways will be faster. Okay, because nobody will come in front of you, it's one way, nobody. Okay, so tuple is like that, one way. List, we have to edit it, right? So it is, performance of tuple is faster. When you're doing reading operation, tuple is preferred because it is faster than list. Okay, writing, obviously tuple cannot support, it is immutable, you can't edit it. So, but how do we declare tuple first? So we have used which bracket for list? Square bracket. For tuple, we use simple bracket. Okay, so if I put a simple bracket, now if I say type of T1, okay, and you run it, you get tuple. Type of T1 is tuple. Okay, this is called tuple. Now I can add a member to it, 1. Now when you're adding one member to it, okay, one member to it, it looks more like a giving numeric value to within the function. Okay, so that's why when you run it, it will show you as integer. So when you have one value in a tuple, when it is no value, it's okay, it is still tuple. Okay, when you have only one value, put extra comma here. Okay, to indicate that it's a tuple, you put an extra comma. Okay, but when you have two values, it's fine. Okay, so one value you put extra comma, and now you type, you get tuple. If it is two values, okay, you can put 2 here, no problem. You get tuple. Okay, 3 values, you can put 3 and say, only for one value you have to give extra comma. Okay, you get tuple. Okay. Now when I say T1 dot, you see, it has only 2 methods, count and index, that's all. Count and index to talk about. Count, what does count do? Element. So count 3 if I say, and if I say print, okay, then you will get position. I mean, count will give you 1. Okay, 3 is one time available. If I use same thing and say index, okay, index of 3 is 2. Okay, so yeah, this is one thing. Now Indexing is exactly same like list or string. Okay. Indexing is same. So I'm not going to do it. Index is exactly same as string or list. Okay. Then you can apply loops also. For I in T1, you print I. This is same as your string or list again. So reading, everything is there, but editing, no function, right? 1, 2, 3. One concept you can see here is called packing unpacking. Means, okay, if I have T1 equal to, right, I can say A comma B comma C equal to T1. When I say A comma B comma C equal to T1, that means A value will be what? First value will go to A, second will go to B, and C will take the third value. So you get A equal to 1, B equal to 2, C equal to 3.
तो
Okay.
इसमें जब सर वैल्यू दे रहे हैं तो इसमें
Sorry.
when we are giving A, B, C assigning to T1 तो इसमें स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट्स लगाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी.
A, B, C, individual values, no? These are 3 different values. नहीं, आप नहीं समझा मैं अपूर्व.
आपने T1 लिखा था 1 2 3 राइट. फिर नीचे आप बोल रहे हैं T1 is ABC. So in ABC you're not putting this brackets and then
ABC individual integer है ये सब ना.
हाँ हाँ. So
A will be integer. Integer तो आप नहीं लगाते हो ना bracket. So A, B, C are your integer values.
Okay.
Right? A, B, C are your integer values. So why will you put bracket? And this has to be exact, okay? Problem क्या आप extra दोगे एक कम, again it will throw error. Okay? Execute code 1, 2 menu values to unpack. If you give more also, there is a problem. Okay? Too few values to unpack. Okay? So it has to be exact same as the number of elements in T1. So you can do that. Yeah, this is very useful for reading, okay? And when we do advanced classes, if you do, you will see many places tuple is used. But this is it. This is what we need to learn about tuple. I told you, wherever you want to do reading operation, okay, what will be the size of a tuple? Sorry, matrix. क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Matrix का size क्या होता है? It's a two-dimensional matrix. So it will be rows into columns. It will always be two-dimensional only. ज़्यादा भी नहीं होगा, कम भी नहीं होगा, right? So tuple is used there to indicate the size of matrix. It can be 5 into 3, 5 rows, 3 columns, 10 rows, 3 columns, 2 rows, 10 columns, right? But the number of elements will be fixed 2, 3, 5, 3, 4, 6, right? So you use tuple there. क्योंकि दो ही values आएंगे उसमें. You can't edit, you can't add more or you can't remove from this. So to indicate size of a matrix, you use tuple. Okay, wherever the values are fixed, right? We know, let's say you are talking about stack and queue. Stack and queue, you can't use tuple. Okay, element will keep on coming, going, right? So yeah, editing it. So tuple can't be used there. You have to use list only, stack and queues. But जहाँ पे fixed elements है, okay? Dozen है. If you have to indicate dozen will have fixed 12 values. So you can use tuple there with fixed 12 values. एक्सेल में कैसे टपल होगा? Now our heading can change. नहीं, देखो. Reading Excel in Python is different thing. You don't read line by line. Okay. See, वहां पे एक tuple नहीं होगा ना. You can use list of tuple. Each tuple will read each column. So the entire thing is a list. आप पूरा Excel आप you are reading as a list. Okay, so and list can and each will have fixed number of columns. So 6 number of columns. So yes, you can have tuples, 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 tuple, tuple, comma. So something like this. Okay, you can have D equal to list, then tuple, comma, tuple, comma, tuple, comma, tuple. Here you will have like 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 6, something like this. Okay, you can have something like this. Okay, under the values will have only 6. Of course, numbers will change, right? But number of numbers will be only 6. And but the rows can be anything. So that's why outside you are giving as a list. Outside this cannot be a tuple because number of rows can change, but number of columns is not changed. So yes, number of columns you can give as a tuple, but number of rows can change. So you give this as list. Okay, so this is possible. Best thing is you can convert list to tuple, tuple to list. Okay, now this is T1, right? Now when I say T1 dot, you only get count and index, right? Now I will say T1 equal to list of T1. So I'm converting T1 to list. Now you say T1 dot. Now you see, you get all these methods which are part of your list. So if you want to add something to tuple, you have to convert into list and only then you can add. Convert into list, add it, and then again you convert it back to tuple. Now you see, you only have count and index. Okay, so yes, this is about tuple. We have 15 more minutes, so let's talk about another topic. Is it okay? So we'll talk about dictionary. Dictionary is about key value pair. So it is linear, it is mutable, but it is not ordered. That's the difference between list and tuple versus dictionary. List and tuple both were ordered. Tuple maybe you know which is the first element, second element, third element. But dictionary may you don't know which is the first element or second element because it does not use default index. In list and tuple, we had a default index. See, we only focused on numbers. Index was added automatically. Agar first element hai, index is 0. Second element hai, index is 1. Automatically added. But dictionary does not take default index. We have to give the index. So here we have to give both index as well as value. Okay. So for example here, so I'm going to create dictionary 1. Now square bracket was taken by list. Simple bracket was taken by tuple. What is left? Flower bracket, curly bracket. In this, we say name, key, colon, value, comma, key, colon, value, key, colon, value. Okay. So your key is your index. So you can give anything as index. So I'm giving string value as index. I'm giving string value as index. I'm giving integer value as index. I can give Boolean also as index. Colon value. Okay. So you can give anything. Only thing you have to remember is key cannot be duplicated. I cannot say name equal to name colon Sachin, name colon Tendulkar. No. Key cannot be duplicated. So here there is no concept of index. We say key. So dictionary is your key colon value. We call them as key value pairs. Key value pairs. Okay. So you can give your own key. Okay. There is no default 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can give string, you can give boolean, you can give number, you can give complex, you can give list also. You can give a list as a key or list as a value. Anything can be given here as key or value. Key is index. Yes, key is like index. Now, if I have to print Sachin, list may you have to say D1 of 0, right? Here you only say D1 of name. Index is same, okay, square bracket only. So instead of saying D1 of 0, you say D1 of name. D1 of name will give you Sachin. Right? So this is called dictionary. Okay. Dictionary is also mutable. That means I can go and change. I can say D1 of name equal to, and now when you print D1, this is what I mean when you say mutable. You can change the value, no problem at all. Okay, this also has your copy and equal to. When I say D1 or D2 equal to D1 versus D3 equal to D1 dot copy. This is called shallow copy. This is called deep copy. Okay, so if I print the values of D1 here, 1 dot D1 equal to D1, right? And then I go on adding, okay? And now what I'll do, I will add something to D. Okay, so this is D1, D2, D3, D1, D2, D3. Now I will add something to D. Now you see, dictionary can only accept dictionary. Okay, so I create a temp dictionary called as country, let's say. Country colon India. Now I will add T to D1. So I'll say D1 dot update T. This is how you add a dictionary or new value to a dictionary. So I say D1 dot update. So this T will be added to D1. Now you can see when you print these values. So you see D1, D2, D3. So you see here what happened. You added, oops, what did I do? D copy is a function, isn't it? So to give as a function. Now you see this? So D1, D2, D3 all same. Now I added country equal to India to D1. So what happened? D1 has country India. D2 also because they are same equal to, and D3 is not affected, unaffected by the values here. Okay. So this is how you can play with dictionary or values. We have a lot more things to do. So today we'll see the properties and next week we will do programs, okay, with dictionary. So I want to only find the keys and values. So you can say print D1 dot keys. Keys will only give you keys. You have to say key d1 dot values will only give you values. Print d1 dot items. Items will give you key value pair both. So if you run this, you see keys only give you keys. So name, runs, 3, true, and then last we added country. Values will only give values. Sachin Tendulkar, 21,000, Mumbai, Mumbai Indians, and India. Okay. Items will give you list of, now you see, it is being used as tuple. Why tuple? Because dictionary values will have always key and value. Two values, fixed two values. Not less than 2, not more than 2. So see, it used, this is very similar to what we did earlier, right? What your Excel wala. Okay. So it is always two values only. Key, comma, value, key, comma, value, key, comma, value. So there it has been put in a tuple. But the number of values can change, right? I can keep on adding more values to it. So that's why outer value is maintained as a list. So keys will only give you keys, values will only give you values, okay? And items will give you pair of key, comma, value. And that will be a list of tuples. Okay. You can iterate through this. For I in, you can say d1 dot keys. When I say d1 dot keys, it will print only I because it's a list. You see, if you see in a way, all these are list only, right? This is a list, this is a list, this is a list, right? So this is as good as going through a list, iterating through a list. So for I in d1 keys, will give you all the keys. If you'll get all the keys here. Name, runs, country. You can say here print. Now you can say values. You get values. Now you can say items. So I will be tuple. You can say I comma j. So now it's like going through tuple. I comma j. So I will take the key value, j will take the value, your key and value, right? This is I, this is j. So if you want to separate them, you can put a colon so that, we can see the separate values. So I colon j. I is key, colon j is value. I colon j, I colon j. Okay. So this is how you can iterate through dictionaries. So items, keys, values, pop. Okay. Update we have done clear. What would clear do? Completely do it. So you have pop here and you have pop item. Now you see pop has the key. So I want to delete name. So I'll say pop name. So now you print D1. Okay. Name is gone. Now when you say D1 dot pop item, pop item doesn't take anything. It will remove one value. Generally, last added value is updated. What did we add last? Do you remember? Country. So now if you print D1, country is gone. Generally, it removes the last added value. And typically, the view you will see at the end. But, okay, you don't go by the order because it's unordered anyway, right? The last added will go if you say pop item.
तो बेटर रहेगा हमेशा पॉप यूज करें, उससे हम लोग बता सकते हैं क्योंकि
आपको
लास्ट
कोई एक वैल्यू डिलीट करना है, एनी वन, देन यू कैन यूज पॉप आइटम. बट आपको आपको नेम ही डिलीट करना है, राइट? देयर नो पॉइंट ऑफ यूजिंग पॉप आइटम। सी व्हेन यू नो विच वन टू डिलीट, अरे वो नेम नहीं चाहिए, नेम हटा दो। ओके, आई डोंट, आपने अपने फ्रेंड से यू वांट डेटा फ्रॉम योर फ्रेंड, ओके, मे बी आपको किसी चीज के लिए फॉर योर वर्क यू नीड सम geographic location data. Friend might have name, capital, currency, GDP. He said, no, no, I don't want GDP. Don't give me GDP. Only give me name, capital, and currency. Enough. So you'll say pop GDP. So your GDP will be dropped, right? So you know exactly what data to drop. So you'll drop. Key value pair. हाँ, so it's always together. It's always together. Key cannot exist without value. Value cannot exist without key. Either you give blank, -1, 0, कुछ तो दोगे आप, or in the worst case you give blank. You can't leave it blank, I mean empty. You have to give something. Okay, so we'll stop here. Where dictionary will be is wherever you need key value. जैसे मैंने बताया आपको, you want to pull some data. Okay, अब lunar अपना ये ऑर्बिटर मून पे है, moon will send data. How will you know which data is what? Will tell you temperature this, pressure this. So you'll have temperature, value that. If you just give 33, 45, 58, what do you know what is 33, 45, 58? So it will say temperature 35, pressure 45. So, oh, okay, pressure is 45, temperature is this. Okay, so you need key and you need value. List tuple mein you have 33, 44, all these things, right? But how do you know what value is what? You cannot think, acha, first wala kya tha? Acha, first wala ye tha. Second wala kya tha? Here you don't have to remember. Okay, you give key and value together. Okay, so many places you have to use this. Set of temperature, set of pressure. Then you can use list. Sub temperature है उसमें, sub pressure है उसमें. But when you are dealing with multiple values, okay, you are to pull some data अपने work के लिए, then you need to know what value is what. So it's a key value pair, right? All right. Shall we stop here for today?
Yes, sir. Thank you.